here. We are live. So, good morning, students and friends. This is Chris Wager. Here to make a small introduction. Our host for today will be Professor John Kalaris, and he will introduce our presenter for today, Dr. Jamaluddin Husain. John, take it away.
Thank you, Christopher. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are, whichever part of the world you are in. Today, I have a distinct honor and a special privilege to introduce a highly known world personality. And I'm saying this because our speaker today has been with the organization ever since its conception, since 1999, has been to countries in your area along with the co-founder, Harry Lipinski. And in addition to that, he's a professor emeritus of entrepreneurship with Purdue University, many, many years in academia. And he's also the president of Entrepreneurship and Development Foundation in USA. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not here to listen to me, but to hear our distinguished and experienced presenter. A side note, if I may, please write your questions on the YouTube site that you have. I'll be looking at them and relating them to our speaker. With that, Professor, thank you. The microphone is yours. We're ready to listen to your expertise. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Hello. Salam alaikum. Yesterday was 21st of March, which I believe Azerbaijan also celebrates Nowruz. So I say Nowruz Mabruk to you. And also Здравствуйте, Privyet, good evening, and hello, welcome. I'm honored to have a chance to exchange some thoughts with you. And I was also honored to be with our fearless leader, Professor Harry Lipinski, in 1999 when we first came to Nakhchivan. And I say Alhamdulillah, we're still together. And this program is something of importance, and I hope those of you who were there last week are still around today, and I hope you can take full advantage of this program. It's a lot of effort is being put in behind. Good. So what I will do is I'll go back a little bit. Last week we talked about the concept of business. There are many people who just think of business in terms of business, fine, business. Now, it's not like that. Let me give you an example of how important business is in our lives, all our lives. Imagine, now we all, in our lives, we buy something or some goods or services. Okay, imagine like we buy food, we buy clothing, we buy education, we buy health services, we buy all kinds of things. Imagine all the businesses in your country, in Azerbaijan, that sell these services, goods or services. Goods means products that can be visible, products that can be touchable. Those are goods, like a chair and a table, or food, clothing, and all these are things that we can touch. These are called goods. And then there are services for which we pay. Health services, entertainment, sports, education. All of these are not, we cannot touch and feel, but we pay for it, we need it, and we use it. Okay. Imagine all the organizations in your country that offer things that we buy, goods and services. Imagine they don't exist. They are not there. Then what happens to your life and our lives? Just imagine, without any of these, what you called businesses that sell us whatever we buy are not available. We cannot buy food, we cannot buy clothing, we cannot buy anything for the house, anything for ourselves, we cannot buy health services, we cannot get entertainment, we cannot get sports, nothing. Then what happens to your life? Our lives are gone. So everything in our lives revolves around the concept of business. And that is very, very, very important. Okay. Now, there are businesses in Azerbaijan. Okay. There are businesses also in our United States of America. How many businesses in Azerbaijan? I don't know. Maybe you know better than me, but I know that in the US, we have close to nearly 50 million businesses. Small, big, very, very, big, very, very small, all put together. Now, if you look around in your country, you will see many businesses that have been around for a long period of time. Businesses like, say, what are some businesses? McDonald's has been there for many years. You have oil industries for many years. Okay. And you have many other businesses that have been around in Azerbaijan for many, many years. But businesses have the same characteristics as you and me. We all have lives, correct? How long will I live? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. How much does a human being live? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. How many people live 200 years? Nobody. How many people live 100 years? Maybe 1%, 2%, very few. So we know that there is a lifespan of a human being. Similarly, all businesses have a lifespan. So if you see a business A, which is selling car repair services, okay? Now that business A, car repair services, will last for how long? There is a life, and I'll tell you how long is the business supposed to live. So if supposing we have in Azerbaijan, I put a number 100,000 businesses, suppose. Okay, out of 100,000, how many will live for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? You have any idea? Think about it. On an average in the United States, an average business, after it starts, it lasts for about 10, 12 years. Within 10 years, according to statistics and facts and figures, more than 90% of businesses that are started in the United States, they die because they can't survive. It's difficult to survive. So there is a life expectancy of a business. Now, if 90% of the businesses do not survive 10 years, then if nothing happens to replace those businesses, then all the businesses in the country will finally die because hey, that's how it is. So what is important is to realize that to be able for the economy to continue in any country, your country, my country, every country, for the economy to continue to prosper and grow, we need to have a reasonable number of businesses that are successful and they keep on adding value and adding towards the gross domestic product so the country can grow. Okay? Which means that there is a need, a very important, a very strategic need to continue to start new businesses. Okay? So I've given you an idea of what business means in our lives and the need for starting new businesses. Okay, so what happens now is I will go and show you something. Okay, so this is the opening slide for my presentation, entrepreneurship. The word on the top is entrepreneurship and small business development. So I've talked to you about the word business. Let me also talk to you about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is all about, we talked about business, okay? The next word is entrepreneurship is that part of the world of business where you help start new businesses and help the new businesses have a longer life. If everybody dies in 10 years, not good. We want many businesses to live for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years and grow and become more successful. So that is where the difference comes in between business and entrepreneurship. Now, let me also tell you about the word entrepreneurship. Currently, we have in the last 2 years with this COVID problem, the COVID season, 2 years and continuing, we have some new words have come into our vocabulary. Okay. Do you think 2 years back or 3 years back, we ever could think about remote learning or zooming in or stuff like that? No. So just a word like remote learning is happening now. We are doing it right now. Okay. I did not need to be present physically with you to be able to engage in this discussion that we are having. Correct? Last week also, Dr. Harry Lipinski didn't have to be physically present in Azerbaijan, in Nakhchivan, to conduct this session. Okay. 3 years back, also, it was probably not really possible to have remote learning. Now, remote learning is part of our vocabulary, our business vocabulary, our language vocabulary. Similarly, we have the word entrepreneurship. The word entrepreneurship is like that. In the year 1972, and I say 72 because in that year, I was doing my graduate studies in entrepreneurship in the Philippines, okay? I was already an engineer and I doing my graduate program on entrepreneurship, but the word entrepreneurship was not there. The word that was used in 1972 was small business management. So I have a diploma given by the United Nations on small business consulting, okay, which is a variation of small business management. Yes, 72. In 84, when I came to the US for my doctorate, that time, the entrepreneurship word had not totally been visible or acceptable in the English language, but there was an effort by 2 words. One word was intrapreneurship, and the other word was entrepreneurship. Okay, intra and entre, and there was a debate going on. It went on for many years until in 1990s, the word entrepreneurship became totally known. Okay, and I'm happy. I look back and I'm happy and I feel pleased that I was part of there were in the United States, we were about 15 people who were specializing in small business management, which was then beginning to be known as entrepreneurship. And we started focusing on starting businesses and injecting more life and energy and profitability into existing businesses and all that. And we really tried very hard and most probably successfully, because now entrepreneurship is everywhere. So we used to promote entrepreneurship in not only universities, colleges, but also in high schools. All forms of entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is not as simple as it sounds. It is a fairly complicated process. So I'll gradually lead you into that kind of a thinking. So this new word we have understood. What happens is that universities in the past, as well as in the present, almost all good universities, large universities, quite a few of them globally, everywhere, they have majors in business and majors in minors in business and all kinds of business courses, which is extremely good, very necessary. However, what used to happen in the past and probably is still happening in majority of universities in the United States, and I believe also in majority of the countries, the business schools, the business graduates, like most of you, must be either graduates of business or interested in business, or you're students of business. and you might be majoring and minoring in different aspects of business like accounting, finance, marketing, and all that. Excellent. But the universities and the institutions were working together to prepare graduates who would be employed by larger businesses. Okay, you see the difference? So your education, you see, I have a diploma and I have graduated from this university and I have a diploma in business and I am majoring in accounting. So I want a job in the accounting department of that huge oil company or that huge bank. Okay. So that was and still is the major focus of schools of business and the learning of business. However, with the introduction of the concept of entrepreneurship in the United States by the end of last century, by the approximately around 2000, in the United States, about 4,000 universities in the United States had already started teaching entrepreneurship as a separate subject, because it was not just business, it was that component of the business which focused on how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to finance a business, how to make it more profitable, how to increase the life expectancy of a successful business, all those things. So that is what has started to happen. Okay. So if you have questions so far, please write it down, and Dr. John Colares will be, I don't have access to what you write down, but he has agreed to help us with that part. So he'll pick up the questions and we can discuss those a little bit. So if you have questions, do that. However, let me continue. If I tell you that, because we are human beings, see, if I tell you that Abacadabra is happening and you say, what is Abacadabra? Never heard of it, right? And nobody knows what we're talking about because it's an unknown, it's a name that doesn't make sense. So we have a khichdi will happen. I said, what is khichdi? I don't know khichdi. It's just a word that doesn't make sense. So we as human beings, we need to know what you're talking about. If I tell you that the chair that you're sitting on a chair, all of you right now. The chair you're sitting on has 4 legs. And you will say, wow, fantastic. I know that. I said, okay. Then I will say the dog or the cat that is sitting next to you also has 4 legs. And I will say that, hey, this is Professor Husain. Because the dog or the cat has 4 legs and your chair has 4 legs, therefore they are the same. How is your reaction? You will laugh, right? You will say, are you stupid? Are you silly? Are you making fun? What's happening? Hey, no, it cannot be. The dog cannot be a chair. My chair cannot be a dog or a cat just because they have 4 legs. So we have to begin with that understanding that the business has to be also, we have to know how it looks like. Okay. So let me draw a business for you. It's just a drawing. So we can begin to conceptualize and begin to relate to it better and understand what exactly are we talking about. One moment. Where is my picture gone? Yes, this is my beloved picture. A business looks like this. A business looks like, one moment. Looks like this, okay? It's a box, okay, where something goes in and something comes out, okay? It's a box where something goes in, something comes out. What comes out of a business is the product or the service. If I have a factory for manufacturing furniture, I will put wood, I will put machines, I will put people, I will put money and all this into my business. And what will come out is furniture. The furniture might be a chair, it might be a table, it might be a bed. Okay, so that's my furniture factory. However, definition-wise, what is a business? What is a corporation? You will be surprised, and I will tell you very slowly what the definition is. A business, a registered official business, not just a theoretical, a real business, okay? So if you have the ABC Bank or any business, or say Apple computers, how many of you have seen the company called Apple? Any one of you have seen the company called Apple? Nobody has seen Apple company. We have seen Apple products. We have seen the Apple design. We have seen the Apple buildings. We might have seen the Apple machinery. We might have seen the Apple employees. Okay, so that's fine. But the definition, as we use it in the United States, of a corporation, of a business, is that a corporation is a fictitious entity. Fictitious means part of fiction, not a reality. A fictitious entity that exists only in the eyes of law. So if I start a business and I call it the Husain Corporation, okay? The Husain Corporation, how many of you, will I be able to see my Husain Corporation? Will it sit on my table? Will it sit near my leg? Will it be on my bed? No, I will not see it, but it will be a registered entity which is only existing in the eyes of the government of the United States because I registered my company there and I call it the Husain Corporation. So that's the definition of a business. Definition-wise, it's a fictitious entity. It does not have any real reality in terms of you cannot see a business, but you know what it's made up of. So if you go back to the drawing that you have on your screen, a business has something like a box, whatever happens inside. My Husain furniture, supposing this is my Husain furniture business, I will put a lot of people, I'll put a building, I'll put machines, I'll put money, I'll put tools, I'll put raw material, I'll put electricity, and I'll put whatever is required to convert all this raw material and stuff into furniture. Okay, so that is on the right-hand side. The color green is called the product. If the product is a good or a service, if it is visible and if it is something that you can touch and feel, then it is a product. It's a good, G-O-O-D, good. That's what's good. A good is a product that is produced by a business which is tangible and touchable. Or it could be service. I could be the Husain furniture repair business. I'm not producing anything except repair services, which is services. You cannot see the repair, but there is work done. Okay? So, and then on the right-hand side of that green thing is a red colored thing called customer. Okay? So this is the overall picture of a business. And now all of you are here because we are talking about entrepreneurship, which means starting a business. An entrepreneur is a person who owns a business. So if you are in this training program, I hope you're here to understand how to become a business owner, how to own a business, how to have your own business, correct? So you have to understand the big picture of where you fit in, where everybody fits in. Again, if at this point you have any questions, type it up, shoot it out. Dr. Coloris.
Doctor, no, I don't see any questions yet. I keep an eye on the YouTube, nothing.
Nothing? So
Nothing yet.
I hope not too many of you are sleeping. If you're awake, okay. If you're awake, if you're listening, my worry is that maybe you may have some difficulty in understanding what I'm saying. So I'm trying to go slowly. I'm trying to use language that is as simple as possible. But if it's okay if you don't have questions, we'll continue. So basically this is how a business looks like. And you have to start asking yourself, do I really want to become a business owner? Do you really have to become a business owner? Not necessary. How many people in the world are business owners? You think 90%, 80%, 70%? No. A very small percentage of the world population is business owners. But, it's a big but if you ask the question to the adult people of the world, the adults, not the kids, not the senior citizens, the adult people like you all, if you ask them, how many of you would like to become a business owner? Okay. The response, beginning with the United States and other countries where this survey has been done systematically, repeatedly, and I think it's also true for Azerbaijan, almost more than 85% of the adults of the world, they think that I wish the opportunity comes for me to become a business owner, because business owners are generally rich and they make more money. And that's okay. That's okay. That's a good idea. That's a good idea, because if you have a job and you work in a bank or you work in a wherever you work, you get paid a salary, right? You get paid every month or every week, and you have a fixed income, and that's a fixed income. You cannot really become rich, okay? You cannot become Bill Gates kind of a thing by working for somebody else. The company might become rich, but you, as an employee, may not become rich. So if you have your own business, the chances are very, very high that you will have that opportunity to become rich. Okay, so let me take a 5-second breather. Yes. Okay, so now you go back to the picture we had before. There is something in green, something in red, okay? There are two items. So if you want to become a business owner, and obviously you know that business owners can become rich. They can make more money. They can. Not everybody succeeds. There are many failures, but it is possible to really become rich and become your own boss, and you don't have anybody dictating over you and pushing you and forcing you to do what the other guy wants you to do. Okay, so if you decide to become a business owner, you have to focus on what is in green and red on this slide, so that you can understand that the green one is answering the question, what will you sell? Because you cannot have a business unless you have something to sell. Okay. If I have that Husain furniture company and I'm not producing anything, then is it a business? No. I have to sell something, and I will say, okay, my business will make chairs and I will sell chairs. Good idea. Very good. At least I have something to sell. The next question is in the color red colored thing. Go back to this thing. Red colored, the customer. Who will buy my chair? If I make chairs in the United States and my chair has got 5 legs, not 4 legs, 5 legs, how many of you really want a chair with 5 legs? Or have only 2 legs, chair with 2 legs? How many of you want it? How many people of Azerbaijan want that chair with 2 legs or 5 legs? Not really, because we want a chair that is stable with 4 legs, maybe. Okay, so unless you have what is called who will buy, there has to be a buyer, somebody who buys your product or service. So there are 2 elements you have to focus on. What am I selling, and who will buy? I think I am an expert. I think I'm an expert in telling. I was telling Dr. John Coloras that I'm very good at telling very silly jokes. Okay. If I'm telling silly jokes and I'm saying that, hey, I want to sell my silly jokes. Okay. Will you pay me money to listen to my silly jokes? The answer is a big no. Nobody wants to pay money for stupid, silly jokes. Correct? Correct? If I have a business, if I say that the Husain company will start a franchise in teaching people of Azerbaijan how to speak the Azerbaijani language, Okay. So Professor Hussain, Dr. Hussain, the big shot Hussain from the United States of America with a doctorate from Northwestern University is about to arrive in Nakhchivan, and he will set up a franchise company called the Hussain Azerbaijani Language Company. How many of you want to learn Azerbaijani language? You know that already. You don't need to buy that product, correct? Or you think you will think that I'm stupid and that idea is stupid. Who wants in Azerbaijan to learn Azerbaijani? Nobody. Nobody willing to pay. So if you might have the answer to the first question on the screen is what to sell. I think I want to sell education on how to speak Azerbaijani language. I have that, but who will buy? Nobody. So until you have what and who together, until you have somebody who's willing to pay for what you are selling, there is no business. Okay? This is extremely, extremely important. Okay, so that's the most critical part of my presentation today. And if you really want to become a business owner, there are 3 ways of reaching that, the 3 doorways. Okay. One is that you have enough resources and you say, oh my God, this coffee shop is a very good coffee shop, and I think I can buy this guy's coffee shop because the guy is getting old or whatever reason he's selling the business. I can buy the business and become a business owner. That's one. You buy an existing business. That's the first way of getting into business. The second is you go for a franchise. Now, when you buy an existing business, the chances of survival is, I told you, if we use the statistics for the United States, the chances are 90% that you will not survive or live for more than 10 years as a business owner for that business. Okay? But if you go and buy a franchise and you say, I'm going to buy a Subway franchise, or I'm going to buy a Apple franchise, and these are franchises that if you can get it, you pay a price. They'll charge you a lot of money for that franchise, but generally franchises are structured to have a longer life. When you have Nike shoes, okay, what happens? Nike shoes are well known all over the world, right? And they have been there for many, many years, and they exactly know how to make the franchise work. And it costs more money, but it gives you additional life. So you can buy a franchise where the risk of failure is much, much reduced. And the third one is where all of you should focus on. Third one, start a new business of your own, not just go and buy somebody else's business because it is successful. Good idea, good, people do it. Franchise, also good idea, people do it. As a matter of fact, a good percentage of businesses that are established in the world are 1 and 2. Franchise is growing very rapidly all over the world. Buying and selling existing businesses is growing, but probably the trick part and the most exciting part is to start a new business of your own. Again, I'll stop and ask you the question. Do you have any questions? Please type it in so we can talk about it. And to become an entrepreneur, to become a business owner, where do you begin? You begin with getting ready. Get ready mentally, psychologically, philosophically. It's not simple. You just don't start a business and then say, no, I want to end my business. Not that easy. Some of you are married, right? When you get married, you know that you can always divorce if you want to, right? But you think it's easy? You think it's easy? No. It gets very
Well, Doctor, here we have the first question,
Oh, good.
which will give you an opportunity to get some coffee for your throat at the same time. There you go. The question is, what kind of business is best for me to start? It's a very
Aha.
general question, but I think it's a good one for you to address.
Very good. Thank you. This is a very important question. What kind of business should I start? Okay. Imagine now you are all men and women who are now engaged in this session. And you, each one of you have something special about you, right? And because all of you, I don't know all of you, but all of you know me, okay? Right now, you have seen me a little bit on the screen and you're listening to me. If I happen to be Professor Husain and I don't speak the Azerbaijani language, correct? I can say Kharasha and I can say Privyet and I can say Kokdela and all the stuff. And then that's my capability. Then if I am not good at something, should I start a company called the Azerbaijan Language Company from the Hussain Corporation? No. So what business you do not start is something that you do not know anything about. I might be Dr. Hussain, but I'm not a medical doctor. But if I say I'm going to start a hospital, you think it's a good idea? Probably not. However, if whatever I am, I really like food and I know how to cook food and I really understand the intricacies of food and food management and all that. And I'm really good at cooking and my family is also good at cooking and my family also had which we already have, food business. In the US, we have several food businesses right now. So, and then I say, I want to start another food business. Does it make sense? Yes, because now I'm talking about a subject that I understand. Like Dr. John Calaras. He is rated one of the top, he has received awards for being one of the top professors of the United States. He was an advisor to our former President Bush Jr., okay, on education issues or something like that. And that's his area of specialization. Do you think he should start a business for selling shoes? No, he's good at training and education. So what he did was he started a business called Quality Training Institute, and he is extremely good at it. Okay. And so therefore, the answer to the question, what business should I start? It should begin with, what are you good at? If you're good at something, start. If you're good at sports, start a sports-related business. If you're good at music, start a music-related business. That is not naturally good. Sometimes you have your skills coming from God-given nature and your God has given you a good voice and you can sing, okay, but naturally, okay. So, and then my wife, she can cook naturally. Nobody taught her, but she knows how to cook. Nobody taught her. However, there are people who acquire skills by going through education. If you want to become an accountant, take some training in accounting. Get some specialization in accounting related softwares and stuff like that. Go into areas of accounting that you understand. Okay, so that's my general response. That there are, and that could be an entire discussion session for 1 hour on how to identify and select businesses. But the only answer I'm giving you now is to focus on yourself. Ask yourself, what am I good at? What do I enjoy doing? What are my hobbies? What do I love to do? What people tell me I'm really, really good at? Okay, focus on those items. to begin with. And then you can, of course, go into other areas to find out whether it's worthwhile or not. And you don't want to end up trying to come to America, say, I will teach Americans how to speak in English. That will be a guaranteed failure because we all speak English. We have no choice. Okay. So is there any other question, Dr. Kalaras?
No, I don't see anything. It looks like somebody's writing something, but it's not there yet.
Okay.
Somebody's writing something. So as soon as the question is there, I'll relate it to you.
Okay. So let me tell you a few things that might also help you. I grew up in a business family, and I'm blessed. So that is one of the ways in which people get into business. Because the family has a business, you end up inheriting the father's or mother's business, and you say, okay, my father and mother, they had this business, they want me to be involved, and that is called family-owned businesses, which is good. So that's one way of getting into business. And that is how I got into business. My parents were in business. Okay, so in the United States, I have quite a few businesses right now, but I'm not devoting 100% of my time into my business. I'm also helping other businesses become better because I have learned quite a few things. And I've had many failures myself. Yes, I'm not proud of it, but that I've learned a lot. And I'm willing to share. So I'm devoting quite a bit of my time sharing experiences and helping people to become. And luckily, about 21 years back, in 2001, September 12, 2001, we got the official permission for our foundation, the Entrepreneurship and Development Foundation, to be established as a not-for-profit tax-exempt entity. So using that platform, we are using our resources to help other people. So part of that expertise, so I come from a business family. I've gone through some training in business, like I told you about the graduate program on small business management in the Philippines. And then my doctorate is also in the same field on technology, networking, and small business synergies and stuff, which has to do with small businesses and entrepreneurship, and how entrepreneurship nurtures itself by using networks and all. That was my dissertation for my doctoral program. And luckily I have been able to, again, it's Allah's wish that I've been able to develop an algorithm, a methodology by which it makes it easy for people to actually start businesses. So I've tried my methodology in different ways in different countries. I experimented some of my ideas in Azerbaijan, but I experimented more of it in other countries like Turkey, United States, Lithuania, Tajikistan, stuff like that. So that has given me, so I've reached a point where but all these countries, I had problems with the language because I do not speak too many languages. I can speak hardly 4 or 5, but I can speak the language of Pakistan. I cannot read and write the language, it's different, but I can speak it. So when I got the offer in 2016 to help poor people to start businesses, I accepted that offer. And in the last 6 years, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, just before COVID, 4 years, I used to go back and forth to Pakistan to help them start businesses under a program which is called the Business Opportunity Program. And I'm very pleased to tell you that does not happen very quickly. It takes about 15 to 18 months, at least for one cycle, for people to start their own business. And there are almost about 70 businesses have been established. But because of COVID, for the last 2 years, I have not been able to travel or do much. So things are happening remotely, and remotely we can only do so much. So that's also, as a result of that, I want you to know that I have an offer that was made to me 2 years back by the rector of your university. They wanted the same program that I did in Pakistan to be offered in Azerbaijan. And I want you to know that I have accepted the thing. And I said, I will be happy to do it. I will not charge a fee. I will not charge a fee because you just don't do things for free for everybody because you have to earn a living. So when it comes to training and teaching and all, Dr. Kalaras has a professional, very successful company, Quality Training Institute. And if he is approached by a client company that, hey, come and do some training for us, I don't think he'll charge less than a few $1,000s per day because there is a cost involved. Okay. And I told Azerbaijan people through this CAPRC, Central Asian Productivity Research Center, that I will be happy to do it without charging a fee because I like to do it and I'm happy to do it and I'm in a position to be able to do it. However, in Pakistan, which is an extremely poor country compared to Azerbaijan. Okay, in Azerbaijan, your police force, police people, they drive brand new BMWs. I've seen it myself about 5 years back when I was there. Okay, so your country has grown very well, and but Pakistan is extremely poor. So my program in Pakistan, I spend all the travel and other costs, my cost and cost of other people who work with me. We pick it up ourselves. We don't make it a burden to Pakistan or to anybody there. However, for Azerbaijan, I'm waiting for that confirmation. If there is a confirmation that our actual cost of travel, cost of accommodation and all, we don't have to spend money from our pocket. If that is okay, which in principle, the rector has said it's okay. So whenever COVID ends and whenever the opportunity comes, inshallah, I will be making myself available to be with you guys in person also and do something. And I noticed that Professor Kalaras has...
Yeah, there's a question.
Yes, please.
On the left side of your chart, you mentioned people, something else, and money. Where do we find the money to start a business?
Okay. The money. So
people pay attention to your chart. They remember it was on the left-hand side. Yeah. So that was good.
No, actually, this is a major misconception. People think that without money, you can't start a business. And that is maybe true, may not be true. But if you really want to start a business, you don't need millions of dollars to start a business. Because if you want to have a McDonald's franchise, you better have a lot of money because they will charge you money to give you the license to become a franchisee. But if you want to start your own business, you seriously want to start, I'm guaranteeing you that there are at least 200 different businesses that any one of you, any one of us can start without spending a lot of money. And I'll give you an assignment, a small project. Think about it. We all know something or the other, right? We all have some skills or the other. If supposing you are good at singing, okay, you were born with a nice voice and you know how to sing, you can become a singing instructor. You can teach people how to sing, correct? Yeah, you can. If you know how to polish furniture, just polish and repair furniture, do you need $1 million for that? No. You need hardly any money to have a furniture repair and furniture polishing business. If you know how to fix the toilets in the house, the plumbing, the water in the house, and you say, hey, I'm a plumber, I know how to fix if you have a problem in your toilet, in your bathroom, I'll fix that. Do you need $1 million, $2 million to start that business? No. So there are a large number of businesses. And whenever we have a program for you in Azerbaijan, we will share with you video recorded stories of people who have started businesses with very little money. Of course, you'll need a car or a vehicle. Of course, you'll need a computer or a smartphone. Of course, you'll need some money. You cannot be zero money, maybe $100, $200, few $100, not much, but money is not really as much required. However, if you want to buy somebody's business, somebody has a business and you say, oh my God, this is a very nice sandwich shop and I want to own the sandwich shop. You go and say, hey, Mr. Sandwich Shop owner, I want to own this. Can you sell it? He will say, yeah, give me 100,000, whatever, and you pay the money and then you need money. So there are different ways of looking at it, but it's not true that without money, no business. Yes, I'm saying, so the businesses we got started in Pakistan, we gave no money to nobody. Of course, they had to arrange money whenever they needed from the parents or from other sources. Yes, Dr. John Kalaras.
Here's another question. Why businesses fail and do not last, as you said, more than 10 years on the average? Why business fail is the main question.
Oh, it's simple. The answer is very simple. If I start the Husain company and I'm I'm making chairs, okay? And I'm repairing chairs in Naxchivan, okay? Do you think nobody else in Naxchivan can make chairs? Hey, people can make chairs and there might be 10, 20, 30, 40 other businesses who are also making chairs. Do you think everybody will be able to make chairs as efficiently and as economically as everybody else? Will I be more competitive? Will I be less competitive? That's where the difficulty arises. There is a lot of competition in every business in every part of the world. And if you look at the newspapers, if you look at the news, you will find tremendous amount of information. And if you look at the screen right now, it says, what do? You surf the internet for opportunities. People buy other people's businesses because those businesses are not doing well. Say, hey, you're not doing well, or my business is not doing well. I want to sell it and get out because I'm not managing to be competitive. So you have to go to the internet, surf the internet, and find out what exactly happens. So there is a 1,000 different ways of and to be able to do stuff like where do I get the money and all that. Look at this chart. Look at your own finances. Look at what you're doing. Ask yourself, can I save money? Can I live on less money? How much can I save? What is my budget? What can I cut? You have to start saving money because money will be required. Not big bucks, but you will need money. So you have to learn how to live on less money, and you have to learn how to work 20 hours per day. If you
Here's another question. Mm-hmm. Should I go in business by myself or get a partner?
It depends. It depends. Generally, when partnerships are made in advance, you say, okay, I absolutely want a partner. The chances of problems between partners is very, very high. So I would recommend not having a partner unless it is absolutely necessary. Okay. And sometimes the partner can be your brother or your sister or your father or your mother. Relatives are the most reliable partners. They will not cheat or deceive because there are a lot of bad people in the world who might not be good people. Okay. And they might cheat you. They might steal money. They might, yes, I've had businesses with partners and I've had some bad experiences with partners. One business partner was such a terrible person. He also had a PhD and he really hurt me very, very bad, but I learned. So partnership, yes, sometimes it is necessary, it's required. Some of our businesses here, we have other family members. My brother-in-law is a partner in one of our businesses, my wife's brother. Okay. And in one other business, my son is a partner to somebody else. So yeah, as needed, because partners bring different strengths. Okay. So
I don't see any other questions right now. I'm waiting, but obviously you don't have very many questions because you're doing such an excellent job and you're simplifying things so well, people understand them. So great.
My only request to the group is like this. If you feel strongly, think about it. If you feel strongly that you want to become a business owner, don't jump at it very quickly. Don't jump at it. It's not simple. It is not simple. It's very complicated. You can get married and get out. That's relatively easy. But going into business and getting out is not easy. It's very difficult to get out. So before you get in, you have to do a lot of work. So if you feel you really need help and you really need the kind of help we have done for Pakistan, discuss it with your professors, discuss it with your rector and all. And whenever the COVID problem goes away, see if you can cash in on my availability as long as I'm available, and to start a program for business opportunity program in Nakhchivan or in Baku, wherever. And I can bring in expert business owners from Pakistan as well as from USA and Turkey. So we need a lot of experienced, solid, successful business owners to help that program to succeed. So that is my request to you. And I think we are closing in on the 1 hour set for this thing. Any final comment from you, Dr. John Kalaras?
No, but I simply want to thank you for paving the way for my lecture next week, because now that they know the basics of how to start and why to start a business, that will lead into my presentation, which is all about quality and management of a business. So thank you, because now they have at least the introductory basic information, so I can build my presentation on it next week. Thank you.
And your presentation next week will also answer the question that I did not adequately cover. Why do businesses fail? And failure is tied in directly with the key concept of Dr. Kalaras's presentation next week about quality of your work, quality of your service, and stuff like that. So good. We hope most of you will be able to join next week.
I see a lot of thank yous. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, Dr. Husain. My God, all the thank yous, thank you. So they're pleased with your presentation.
I hope, inshallah, we get to see you there soon in Azerbaijan. Maybe will, if Dr. Kalaras is free, he can also join in that project.
If my schedule permits, I'll be delighted to.
Fantastic, because he is a very successful business owner himself. So we look forward to it, and thank you very much, and das vidaniya. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.